Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's first year in office was marked by a series of popular reforms. He tapped women to head leadership positions, signed peace deals, most notably with longtime for Eritrea. He has cracked down on corruption. Not surprising, Prime Minister Ahmed is generating worldwide headlines. Time magazine recently named him as one of the 100 most influential people in 2019, in part for his leadership style and for doing what a lot of people thought was impossible. Ahmed called for an end to the repressive exclusionary governance that had plunged the country into turmoil. Ethiopian journalist Eskinder Nega is among hundreds of prisoners released. He says Prime Minister Ahmed should continue to work towards promoting democracy and expanding political reforms.
Does the new Prime Minister want this system? Does he want to bring genuine democracy to the country? He has said so. But in the final analysis, he'll be measured not by what he says, but he'll be measured by what he does. So he has to walk the talk.
A surge in ethnic violence in Ethiopia along the border areas of Ndiho and West Guji regions has driven nearly 1 million people from their homes.
Seen an awful lot of people, probably more than 750,000 people, having to move in the face of violence in a very short space of time. So they've moved to public buildings, schools, training centres, as well as being hosted by families in the area to which they've moved.
Violence is threatening to undermine Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's call for unity in the country. It's also overshadowing the popular liberal measures he's announced since coming to power.
We came here because we were attacked. We left our village empty-handed to save our lives. We traveled and spent 3 days in the bushes to get here.
The 42-year-old Ahmed was appointed by the ruling Ethiopia's People's Revolutionary Democratic Front as it sought to ease ethnic tensions and appeal to disfranchised youth.
He is restoring rule of law in the country so that the Ethiopian people will have confidence in the system, in the judicial system, in the security system, and in the government as a whole.
Since becoming Prime Minister, he has met publicly with the newly freed political prisoners and held repeated meetings with Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki to negotiate a July 2018 agreement re-establishing relations following a brutal 1998 to 2000 border war. In a historic move, the Prime Minister appointed Sahle-Work Zewde as the country's first female president and several other women to senior government positions. These positions carry significant symbolic and social influence, especially for young women.
Women's political participation, to me as well, is beyond cabinet positions. It's participation at all levels, and the participation of women who have never been in politics before. Women as voters, women as candidates, women as members of civil society and opinion makers, women in media. All of this works towards meaningful women's political participation.
New elections are slated for 2020, but some opposition parties are casting doubt on whether the government will be fully prepared to safely conduct a free, fair and credible elections next year. An election that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is hoping will be the crown jewel of the reforms he's promoting and defending. Ndiho, VOA News.